I'm glad all of you were able to make it on this cold day today. Our mayor, Todd Bengford, is here to talk a little bit about the future of Odebolt.
And a little bit of history, I guess. So first and foremost, I want to introduce myself. Some of you know me, some of you don't. My name is Todd Bengford. I'm the current mayor here in Odebolt. I work out here at Lundell Plastics. Been there for 16, going on 17 years. So I like what I do there. My family members, I'm married to my wife, Angie Finneran, Jerry's daughter. I have 3 daughters myself and 4 incredible grandchildren. My family's been challenged, I guess, with a lot of hardships, health issues. One of my daughters had a brain tumor. Discovered she had a brain tumor, had to have brain surgery, had the tumor removed. She's doing awesome. My youngest daughter, Zoe, she was diagnosed with cancer here a year and a half ago or so. She also is doing incredible. So we've been blessed. 2 of my grandchildren were born with heart defects. Both of them had to have open heart surgery when they were infants. So we've been challenged, to say the least. But that's a little bit of history about myself and my family. Onto the city. Odebolt has a lot of history. The Cracker Jack Company, the Adams Ranch, the Brookmont Ranch. I mean, just with the Adams Ranch alone is so much history. I guess we were fortunate to have the Adams Ranch here and the Adams family as well. They did a lot for this town with the swimming pool and what used to be, or what is now the Shelby County State Bank. The structure is beautiful. So as a kid, you know, you've all seen the movie Cars probably. One scene in that movie where they're looking out and he said, "Wow, I really would have liked to seen this place in its heyday." I feel the same about this place. I really wish I could have seen it back in its heyday because I've heard it was amazing. I mean, as most towns have weathered the storm, I think we've weathered the storm fairly well. We've lost a lot of businesses. You know, kids grow up and move away and want to move to the big city, and some come back, some don't. So we have when I was a kid, we had a lot of businesses downtown. Just to name a few, we had, the furniture store was downtown, the bakery. My mom had a clothing store downtown, a women's clothing store, 2 grocery stores, 2 implement dealerships, the pharmacy. You could go there and get a cherry Coke, the soda fountain. Those are about a thing of the past, but a lot of history here. So I wish some of the old timers were still around that we could talk to about that. Guys like Harvey Keller, that guy was loaded with history. I miss that. And, once they're gone, they don't come back. So, but it's water under the bridge. There was a story told that Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company wanted to build here. And some of our city fathers were concerned about our water supply not being big enough to supply that, so they turned them down. Unfortunately, they turned them down. I really wish they wouldn't have, because I think that would have turned this town around. I mean, I really do. But anyway, it's so the future for the city. I don't know what our future is going to hold here. I can't tell you that. But I think with when I say, you know, so the kids move away and some come home, I've seen that. We've had kids move back here. They want to raise their families here, and they love our community. They love where they grew up. It's safe for the most part here. So I think our future may be pretty bright. I you know, depending upon how our government system goes, I think we've got a pretty bright future. And with the young kids coming back, and some of the I don't want to say older people, some of the people that have stayed around here, Vicky, Kathy, we have some good mentors here as far as guiding our youth, and trying to lead our town to really be something here. So with that being said, I myself would really love to see a new city hall built here. I don't know how many people have been to our city hall, but I really would encourage you to go in and just walk around. Ask if you can walk around. Go to our council chambers. It's awful. And I never really realized how bad the mildew smell was in there until my daughter applied for the city clerk job, and she's our current city clerk. And when I came home one day, I went up to their house, and she said, "Dad, come here and smell my hair." Oh. At that point, I realized how bad we really need a new city hall. I mean, it's too small. Our council chambers just gets packed with people sometimes. We need a new facility. We're still trying to either find an existing building that can be refurbished, and but I think our current building it's too small. We need something larger. With everything, you know, we need a little more storage, just more space to move around, and to have our council meetings, and where people are welcome and have a decent place to sit and not having to stand. And so we're still adamant about. I would love to see our city hall go where the hole is, where our Brady building used to be. I was pretty excited when the foundation got started, and excuse me, Dana approached us about refurbishing that building, and my first initial thought was, she's crazy. She's absolutely crazy. But the more she talked, and the more she got emotional, and it turned me around. You know, I thought, who are we to tell her no? You know, she asked us for our support, and I thought, who are we to tell her no? You know, so unfortunately, time slipped away, and the building kept deteriorating, and it was just too far gone. Is there anybody here that's currently on the foundation? Yes, Carol. Am I remembering right in saying it was going to cost like $350,000 just to put the roof on? Yeah. I mean, you can't even justify that. It's just not even justifiable. So I would love for our city hall to go in that spot. Now, whether it will or not, I don't know. I don't know. As far as new businesses coming to town, I would love to see. We're I've heard that Thad's going to retire. Thad Thompson, our dentist, is going to retire. I would love to see a dentist come back to town and somebody to replace him. That would be really great. I know we've got a new doctor's clinic here in town, so that's awesome. And I've heard rumor that he's going to build a new building and possibly put in a pharmacy with it. So that would be great. Now whether that's going to be like a full blown pharmacy, I do not know, or like a telefarm or something like that, I don't know. So, but that's in the works. So the Sutton building, the ones that Sutton just purchased across the street from the elevator. I've spoke with Ron a few times, and he's pretty excited. They want to put in some kind of, well, number one, their soft water business. They want to put that in there. Number two, there's like three things they want to do in there. So they want to you all know he's into custom cars and car shows and stuff. So they want to put in some kind of customization of car parts where you can get like graphic design done on certain parts of the cars and stuff. Their soft water. And he even told me that in the other little part there, where what I remember used to be the liquor store, they want to put a small cafe in. So I'm hopeful for that. That would be really great. I would love to see an implement dealership come back to town. We've got two incredible car dealerships. I don't think there's a car dealership within 20 miles of here, is there? No, not in Ida Grove anymore. Nothing in.
They're the only two in the county, I think. Is what I've heard.
Sac City's got one. Sac City's got one, yeah.
Maybe 40.
So yeah, I mean, I would love to see an implement dealership come back to town, and whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. But and our foundation, we've got how many members are on there now, Carol?
Well, it's kind of been reduced, so at the moment there's 4.
Okay, so 4 members of the foundation, and I know they're working hard trying to find. They want to start a thrift store to help raise funds for some current buildings and stuff. Try to get some things going in town. I commend those guys for doing that. It's a tough job. It's really a tough job because you have a lot of chiefs and not enough Indians, right? And it's tough. But I would love to see our downtown fixed up as far as building facades. I know there's grant money out there for building facades, sidewalks. The one current sidewalk that's in front of the Variety Building, what used to be the Variety Building, is in horrible shape due to the excavator climbing over top of it and stuff. So as soon as spring comes, I'm hoping to get that thing taken care of. So I would love to see new street lights downtown. Some like the old-fashioned street lights, kind of like Lakeview did. Those are really cool. So I don't, again, I don't know where our future is going to go. Nobody can, I wish I had a crystal ball to tell us that, but we don't. But I'm pretty excited for our future. I think we've got a lot of young people here that love our community and want to help out as much as they can, and that's awesome. And I would encourage anybody to really, if you want to help out, help out. I mean, get a hold of the foundation, whoever. We've got 4 city signs, one on each entrance to town and exits to town. When I first started at Lundell's, those were just being done. So that tells you how long they were there or how long they've been there, and they're not looking the greatest. I know I've been asked to talk about fixing them up. I know I've spoke with Vance Lundell. He was a big part of that. He also currently is working with a company, I believe, he's trying to get some kind of colors mixed in there or something to help make the signs pop a little better, I guess. So the one south of town is in really bad shape. You can't even hardly read it, but hopefully we can get something rolling there too, so also I would invite anybody to get on the town council. Juanita snickers because she's been there. It's before I came mayor, I'd served on the council for, I believe it was 18 years. So I've been involved a lot. It's a thankless job. It just always seems like everybody has an answer and a complaint. Yeah. I mean, there are some people that once in a while, that, hey, you're doing a good job, whatever, so, but I've enjoyed it. I really have. I've really enjoyed it. When I took over as being mayor, I wondered what I was going to run into. And it's been a ride. I'm not going to lie. It's been a ride. It's been a good ride. And will I do it again? I don't know. I don't know. But again, as far as our future goes, I can't tell us. I can't tell you where we're going to go. But I think, again, with our youth, Tisha's sitting over here smiling. They moved back here, so that's awesome. Glad you're back. That's awesome. Her and her husband James have helped out with the farm to table meals and stuff. I think James is he's a go-getter. A little bit like his grandfather, I think. He's a go-getter. So that's what I'm talking about when I think we got some good young people back here that want to help out and love our community. So with that, is there any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
Do you have some grants out to get like a new building built for City Hall? Anything like that?
Not at this time. That's got to be a little further into the works before we do that. Plans have got to be drawn up. We don't know whether or not. I would like to find a building just to. So the thing is with the city hall, we wanted to build a new city hall, and because we are a city entity, you are required to hire all kinds of civil engineers, and that stuff is huge dollars. So it was going to cost over $600,000 just to build a single story community or a city hall. So we put it out for vote. We were going to try to go for it. We put it out for a vote, and it failed by about that much.
Like our jail.
Yes, unfortunately, yes. I was a little upset by that. That's why I would encourage anybody to tell anybody and everybody to stop in down here just to see what it's like. There's a lot of people sitting here that have already been there. It's ugly. It's bad. It's unhealthy. There's mildew in there, and unless you gutted the place, I don't think you'll ever get it out of there. So,
I think some of that will come back. If you get it,
yeah.
it's too deep into.
Yep, the roof leaks. The roof is in bad shape. So yeah, we need a new city hall. Anybody else got any questions?
When you
Tisha.
think about the new sidewalks and new streetlights and some of those aspirations, have there been any estimates done on that, or how much?
No, there has not. That's a pipe dream of mine, I guess. I know like the city of Lakeview, I believe they got a grant for that. I haven't spoke with anybody over there about that, but I'm pretty sure they got some pretty good money to fix something. And if I remember right, they completely ripped their main street out. I mean, down to the bare dirt and started over, and it's beautiful. I mean, I got to hand it to them. It's gorgeous. It really looks nice.
I went to a meeting in Wall Lake last week,
Mm-hmm.
and we got a visual tour of the rec center that they got going over there. And it's in the old school building, and they gutted it all and things like that. And they got a bunch of good grants. Chris Rodman might be able to help some of you guys figure
Okay.
out where to get some of those grants from. It was phenomenal.
Hmm.
It really is. And that's
Okay.
nice.
Well, great.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'd give you a tour of it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, it's really nice. They have 2 exercise classes every day, and they have, Seth Schrader's got his office in there he's moving back for lawyer. He found them, and they basically did the whole plan over to accommodate him. And it wasn't so, user-friendly because it was steps going into the school and things like that. So they slanted them, and, it's all accessible from the street all the way in for the older people that wanna do exercises and walk around the gym. And there's a basketball court in there and a volleyball court, and they got curtains to separate it. I mean, they did but it was basically paid for.
Wow.
Yeah, Chris he did a lot of really good work.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chris Rodman.
Good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, it hurt to talk to him.
Liz,
What's your take on a new shelter house for our park?
at the park?
Yeah.
Um,
Because right now, we used to have our reunions there and stuff, but I have aunts that are older. So get them down to the bathrooms. And then it's hot. We have it in August. So if we could have one where the bathrooms are there, there's some air conditioning.
that was discussed at a meeting here. It's probably been longer ago than I think. But maybe it might have been Seth brought that up. Was it? Seth brought that up about, maybe either building a new shelter house there, bigger with some bathrooms, having it insulated. We could air condition it and heat it, and so I mean that's a it's a possibility. And there's probably money out there for that as well. So
I think it'd really get a lot more use up there if we had.
I agree.
Especially for
I
older
agree.
people.
Yeah, because like when the phone office has their appreciation thing, I know they like to have it up at the park, but the past 2 years it's been so stinking hot that nobody wants to go. It's just so hot, or so yeah, yeah. Vicki,
To your talk about Grantsville, and we found that out when we did the Memorial Circle, so many of those require you to have 50% funds and or work in exchange for dollar funds before you can even apply for the grant. So you can't stack those grants, and you have a year to use that grant. So you can't apply this year with the money you haven't raised yet and have the project all done by December of this year. A lot of the communities around us, like Wall Lake and Manning and several others that have huge, beautiful projects going all the time, have city-owned utilities that provide the matching funds for them to keep applying for those grants. City of Odebolt doesn't have that. So unless you get a group with a large number of donations up front and tell them, then we can apply for the grants, and then it's still a couple years down the road, some people lose interest because they're not seeing it happen right away.
it's a bigger process than people think.
It took us like 3 years longer to do the memorial than we had hoped. Just because of part of that
There's usually more
process.
red tape involved with things like that than what
But
other people think.
that being said, the Monument Circle looks incredible. Fantastic job on that. Fantastic job on that.
We had some of our biggest donors were alumni. You can't count those folks out. You can post something on Facebook about something that happened with your class, and someone's looking for someone that knew someone that was in the Air Force back in the 50s today. They met somewhere in Odebolt. Well, my husband served with some guy from Odebolt. Now they're trying to find each other. Nobody knows who the guy's name is, though. But anything you can do to promote, especially to alumni, they love it. And we might raise $50 or $100 here and there. Those guys were writing large checks. But it's because they have fond memories of Odebolt, and they love seeing something positive happen.
Yes, guys like Matt Wagner.
But you have to get it out there.
Right,
Editors, things like that.
Yep.
You can't just sit home and think they're gonna donate it. You have to get it out that it's needed.
Yep.
And then just to say about the foundation, that's kind of why they got going, and we were hoping if there was a building that we could have it going, for the thrift store, that to raise the money for those matching grants, that we could be able to help supply that, and all of our profit would stay here in the town for those things.
Yeah.
So if we could just find a place.
I spoke with Vance here a while back, and I can't say what I was talking to him about, but he told me something good is coming, but I can't tell you what it is. I don't know what he was talking about. He said, well, I said, not even being mayor, you can't tell me? Trying to pull the mayor card, and he said, well, let me make a couple phone calls and see if I can do that. Well, he came back. He said, they want to keep it pretty hush for now. So I don't know what they got up their sleeve or whoever it is or what they're doing, but whatever it is must be pretty good. So I'm excited to find out what that is. So who knows? And we what? Wouldn't that be great? But we've got good businesses here in town. We've got 2 coffee shops in town, that are pretty darn new, and they're both doing well. The Sunrise Coffee Shop, man, what a cool thing. Well, when I first heard they were going to do that, I thought, you got to be kidding me. That is never going to fly here. There's not enough people here. I was dead wrong. Dead wrong. They had a vision and they ran with it, man. They ran with it. And I can't be happier for them, and I can't commend them enough. I mean, they did an incredible job. Noodle in our liquor store out there. It's Rick, what was that? It's a storage building?
Yeah, just storage.
Storage building. And man, they tore that thing up and look at it now. It's awesome. It's awesome. So I mean, people have got great ideas and they run with them. So, you know, I'm really hoping that some more people want to do things like that. So that'd be really great. Any more questions?
I just had a comment on the alumni comment that you spoke of, and I think that, as you mentioned, there's so many alumni that have moved away, but when you say the name Odebolt, and especially now, as far as donations go, I really think it's prime time right now.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times Odebolt, Iowa has been Googled in the last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, there's that momentum
yeah.
that can't be seen right now,
Mhm.
but it's there.
Yep. Yeah, you're
So
right.
I think
You're right.
alumni are so important, whether they live here or not, whether they are thinking about moving back or not. Odebolt holds a special spot in a lot of people's hearts, I think.
Yes, I can't agree more. I can't agree more. So, anyone else got a question? Yes,
Have you
Wendy.
ever thought about having a grant writer? I feel like Lakeview or Wall Lake has.
I think Chris does his own.
Yeah, Chris is really good at that.
I visited with John Westergaard
Yeah.
at one time, and he says they're whoever they have for a grant writer, he says, we'll help you guys out at any time. And so, and I think like what Wendy says, you know, your daughter saying how the workload is more, that's why they're trying to get an assistant. I think that if your assistant would also, if they were part of the grant writing, that would probably be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that there's money out there.
Yeah,
And-
well, like places like Mid-America, we all pay our Mid-America bills, you know, sometimes those guys can come up with a lot of money for you, if you just approach them. And, do we have Arian over here? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give grants.
Yeah,
Mhm.
A lot of grants.
yeah, they give a lot of money to.
What's the other one? What's the other one that they give to the pool all the time? I can't remember what it was.
Oh, you mean the church?
No. It was through the phone company.
Oh, NetIN,
Oh,
NetINs, but now that's REN, that's what you're talking about, right? AUREN or ON.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the
They-
telephone
yeah.
company.
Some of those guys have a lot of money that they'll fess up to,
Yeah.
if you just ask,
Yep.
like getting it out.
Yep.
A lot of times we, kind of forget about the seed dealers. They're in business, but they're outside of city limits. A lot of times their corporate level has funding available, but it's a matter of nudging the right guy that's local to kick it up to change. And corporate, you go, you know, at one time I know the Schrader family replaced all the mats at the end of the field underneath the basketball hoops. That was a grant they got from a seed company. So,
Huh.
just because you don't live in the city limits, you know.
I did not know that. Okay. Any other questions?
Oh, I did have one.
Okay.
Forgot it, now I remember it. And I don't know if it's true or not, but is the medical clinic on a 3-year lease for that building?
I believe so.
If
Yes.
he's going to build his own building, do they have to give you so much time notice to be out of that building? I'm just wondering if it's possible to work that to be the city council building if they're going to be out of there in 2 years.
Yeah. So we had plans drawn up for for City Hall to be there, and I believe They should still be there. We should still have them. As far as the 3-year lease goes, I believe he told me he would be there at least 2 years. He's already been there a year. So I don't see him. He may ask for an extension. I don't know. I mean, but you're right as far as, wanting to, yeah,
But didn't, with all the steps or the handicap accessible, wasn't that gonna be more, too much cost put into that? You'd be better off with starting
at the clinic right now. Yeah, there was something about that, and I really find that hard to believe because there's not much of an incline there.
But there was something.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There was.
If you're like my husband and have to walk up that incline, it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You need to get into the door.
yeah.
Yeah, it was something about it was too steep or something.
Yeah, they'd have to run it. They'd have to run like a ramp south and then out that way or something. I don't remember what it was, but it was again, with the engineering costs and all that stuff. It is so much money. I would love to see somebody put up some sort of spec building or something.
Sure.
That might be a possibility. If somebody came in and put up a spec building or something.
So then if someone put up a spec building, could you buy that and not have all the requirements, or would you still have to conform to all the requirements?
You'd still have to conform.
You'd still have to conform, but I mean, they can't tell you who you can buy and who you can't. I mean, but it would still have to be up to snuff. I mean, as far as handicap accessibility, things like that. Yeah. But I mean, as far as if a private person were to build a building, they don't have to hire all these engineers and everything else. Where we do. That's why things. If we want to do something, it's going to cost us double what it would cost anybody else. So it stinks, but what do you do about it? It's one of those things that it's unfortunate that you got to do that. But any other questions?
We tried to avoid that, when they built the new fire station. They got wind of it, that was the intent, and it don't work.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Yeah.
It's super illegal.
Yeah. So that's why you can't have somebody else build it.
If you're doing that with the intentions of getting around that,
Yeah,
and they find out about it,
it don't work.
you're in trouble. We looked into that because we actually went and spoke with an attorney about that, and he said absolutely not. Don't even try it. So
Is the city capable of renting a building though, if someone put it up?
yeah, rent like a rent or lease to own, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think again they can't. I don't think anybody can tell you who you can lease or buy from. I mean,
Like the post office building is privately owned, and the government rents them from them.
right. So I mean, it's a possibility. Anyone else? All right. Thank you everybody for coming. Watching me stumble through this. Public speaking is not my cup of tea, so
You did well.
thank you for listening and putting up with me here. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much.